Alright, today we are making my first ever attempt at sourdough. Now, I've been working on a starter for the last 2 weeks, and you might be like, oh, you're going down the Crunchy Mom thing. Yeah, no, like, I still believe in science. Anyway, I have my sourdough stuff ready. I just fed my starter, but this is the starter I fed last night. I will go ahead and say that I'm making 2 separate batches just to experiment. One will pretty much be an overnight ferment in the fridge, and the other one I will hopefully attempt to make today. If not, this is probably going to be a 2-parter that's not going to be released until like later in the week. But anyway, let's hope this goes well. I had to play with the tripod a little bit, but we have our flour and we have our 2 little sets of starters over here. And we're going to add some salt to both of these bad boys. They're about the same for both, it's just one of these is bigger. So, from what I was reading in the recipe, you got to put in salt, your sourdough starter, and some flour. So we're going to start by mixing this together with this spoon so I don't keep making more dishes for myself to wash. It said that the dough might look dry at first, but that it's a trust the process type thing. So I'm going to choose to trust the process on this one. Alright, so far it's looking dry as fuck, but it did say you might want to wet your hands a little bit, so I will be right back. Alright, let's try this again. Okay, I can feel it getting more moisturized, I guess is the right way to say it. I have some like all these sourdough in the fridge. I'm halfway through the little loaf, but you know, homemade is always better from what I hear, and I believe that. Oh man, this is turning really flaky. Maybe I should add more starter. I can't deal with the new starter because I just fed it and it needs to have already been fed. I'm going to take a little more extra dough. I don't want to put too much moisture in it. Probably going to do the other one off screen just from how long this is taking. Alright, so I added a little bit of non-chlorinated water, and it's actually started sticking a little bit together. I can still smell the sourdough. Hopefully I didn't just fuck this shit up. Yeah, I think I'm going to do the second one off screen just because it's taking a bit for this to get where I want it to be. So from my understanding, the dough's supposed to be sticky when we let it rest. So it is starting to get real sticky. It is starting to get real sticky. So I think once I get this flour off my hands, I'm going to let this rest for the 15 to 20 minutes that it needs. Right, we're just going to keep kneading because it's kind of dry still in some patches. Well, some areas. I hope I'm doing this right. If not, I have a lot of sourdough that I can do. I mean, sourdough starter I can mess with. Alright, that looks acceptable. So now I'm going to put a kitchen towel over it and wait the 15 to 20 minutes while I'm working on this batch. Alright, now we have both of these like hydrolyzing or whatever it's called. I think you're supposed to do it for 5 to 20 minutes. Don't quote me. Like I said, don't follow these recipes if it ends up being bad. This is why it's an attempt, not a recipe. Alright, so we're going to leave these for a little while longer. Alright, so now it said that we need to fold it I need it for 2 minutes every 30 minutes. I'm not sure. Let me go double check. Alright, correction to my previous video. It's actually, you're going to do a set of folding and kneading. Well, not kneading, but like folding and setting every 30 minutes. So right now, it is 8:30 something. We're going to just... Ooh, this shit's sticky. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, I like it. Maybe it's just the slightly autistic part of me, but I really like the texture of this. And that sounds weird, but it feels like Play-Doh, sort of, if that makes any sense. Ooh, yeah, it's coming along great. So let me cover this back up and put a better, different time sticker on it. Alright, so now that we did this other one off screen, this one has a little more moisture to it than the other one. So we'll kind of add that in as a factor to our little experiment. And now back to my other stuff. So now that we have done our final fold, I'm going to cover this up until it doubles twice its size, and I'm going to go ahead and label this one as the fridge one and the other one as the one we're going to attempt to bake today. Alright, now we have both of these, and we're going to let them double up before this one goes in the fridge, and this one will have to wait 3 to 4 hours to be baked. Alright, this has grown twice the size, so now it's going in the fridge. This one is not doing as hot as I would hope it was, but this one's the one we're going to attempt today. We'll give it a couple more hours. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and get our baking dish ready for this sourdough that's room temperature. And this is what that sourdough looks like. It has doubled in size. And it looks great. Alright, so I just sprayed this with some nonstick butter. We're going to take this and put it in our vessel. Alright, we put it in and now we're going to score it. Alright, now that the bread is scored, I'm going to stick this in the oven. Alright, there we go. In it goes. So I took a nap and I forgot that this was in the oven and it is rock hard. So whoops. This experiment failed. So I basically had to like Hulk smash this shit to open it. The inside is still soft, surprisingly. It's a wee bit on the dense side, but honestly I don't mind. I guess I'll give the inside a try and maybe the outside. Alright, let's try this. It doesn't have a bad taste at all. It tastes really good. But I will complain that the inside is slightly on the chewy side. And it may be that I kneaded it a bit too much or I let it rest a little too much. Any sourdough experts out there, if you want to tell me what I did wrong, like, you know, I'll listen. Let's try this inside part. It's good. It just still has a slightly chewy texture, even though the top is like very hard, but that was user error, not me. Not my method for this, because I told y'all I forgot that I had it in the oven and it baked for over an hour. I'm surprised it didn't straight up burn, but overall I think the flavor and the crumb is good. I think next time I just need to actually time more when I fold it and maybe, you know, not forget to have stuff in the oven. This is day 2 of attempting sourdough. This bread has been in the fridge for about 15 hours, probably more, and it looks great. Now this time with the oven, I put in a pan of water like some of the websites suggested to do, so I'm gonna move this over to a baking tray. Alright, so I sprayed this with some generic Pam, and I also sprayed the parchment paper with Pam, and we're gonna put this in here. Alright, now that it's all keyed and transferred, we're gonna score it and throw it in the oven. And this time we're not gonna forget it's in the oven. Alright, it's scored, so let's throw it in the oven. for 20 minutes. I think enough time has passed. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, it's still raw, I think. Hold on. Still cooking, so we're gonna give it a little bit more time. All right, so the bread is ready and we're gonna go ahead and take it out. In total, I think it took like 40 minutes to bake, if I'm not mistaken. And man, this bread looks pretty. All right, let's try this. This was it. This was it. The bread is soft and pillowy, and the top is really crunchy, but it's not like hurt the roof of your mouth crunchy. So I think the second batch that we made and let ferment overnight did a lot better than the one we did the first time around. And I think putting that water in there definitely helped it stay fluffy. So yeah, try this recipe. I guess you can try the other one. Just make sure you don't make the same mistake I did in forgetting to put water in there, forgetting you had the bread in the oven.